U.S. Meat Export Federation is in Kansas City, the heartland of both barbecue and agriculture. And we are so fortunate to get to work with the Kansas City BBQ Society, the who's who of sanctioning barbecue and anything to do with barbecue. And I'm here with Carolyn Wells, the co-founder of Kansas City BBQ Society, and the CEO, Emily Detwiler.
Kansas City is the melting pot of barbecue. In 1908, the father of Kansas City BBQ, Henry Perry, started a barbecue cart and eventually turned that into a barbecue joint featuring meats served in newspaper wrappings.
It was here that the most famous barbecue dish in Kansas City was born, the burnt ends.
Burnt ends are literally the burnt end of the brisket that the pitmaster would slice off and give as free samples to customers waiting in line. They became famous in 1972 when writer Calvin Trillin said, "The best kept secret in barbecue is free, the burnt ends given as samples." These tasty, crunchy morsels have become a staple of every Kansas City barbecue joint.
So to see how you prepare brisket to make burnt ends, let's meet Kelly Wertz of 4 Legs Up Barbecue.
Howdy, I'm Kelly Wertz with 4 Legs Up Barbecue. This is a full packer brisket, the point on it up here, what we call the point, and then the flat is down here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna trim this thing out, separate the point from the flat, so we can get our burnt ends out of the point itself up here. That fat seam goes all the way around, but that's actually what separates the flat of the brisket from the point side of the brisket. There, now we have the point separated from the flat. Leave as much surface fat on as you would be willing to eat.
To take a deep dive into how brisket goes from the point to the plate, we are here at the world-renowned Joe's KC with owner and pitmaster Jeff Stehney to see how they make burnt ends.
I'm Jeff Stehney, and I'm the proud owner of Joe's Kansas City BBQ. I got started in 1990 in competition barbecue, cooking in Kansas City BBQ Society contests. We were moderately successful. I've since been entered into the National Barbecue Hall of Fame, and I love cooking barbecue, and I'm proud to show you what we do here. Today, we're gonna be cooking Kansas City burnt ends. Brisket flat is cooked for sliced brisket. The brisket point turns into burnt ends. I like to separate them just like Kelly does because it allows us to get seasoning all the way around it. This is a really fatty, tough cut of meat, so we're gonna have to cook it a long time. So we've got them trimmed. We're gonna only be cooking these at 190 degrees in our cookers. Higher sugar content, lower temperatures, more caramelization. That's how we get a great burnt end. So commercially what we do, we've got our big meat, so we just coat the whole thing, top and bottom. I believe the secret to Kansas City barbecue and my competition barbecue success is having a great, well-balanced barbecue rub. 4 parts of salt, 4 parts of sugar, 2 parts of garlic, 2 parts of onion, 2 parts of chili powder, and then it works down and maybe only a half a part of cayenne or 1 part of black pepper. Okay, it's time to load the smoker now. We've got our brisket points, which are gonna turn into burnt ends, all seasoned up. So we wanna make sure and always load the fattier side pointing up. That way the fat that's here is gonna baste as it's cooking. Make sure and put that bigger, thicker, fattier piece closest to the heat source. In this case, my heat source is a little bit on the left side. I'm gonna do that and make sure they all stay this side up. We're gonna load our cooker as evenly as we can. We don't want any of the pieces overlapping because we want to get smoke and flavor to everything. Let's talk about wood. In some markets, especially in international, Caribbean, you don't have near as many trees. It's gonna be a little more of a challenge, but once again, the rule of thumb is if it produces a nut or a fruit, mangoes, that type of thing, you can cook with it. It's about 9 a.m. and our briskets have been on the cooker for about 15 hours. Now that all these are about 185 to 195 degrees, I really want to grab the ones that feel like they're done. So this is a combination of the temperature and the feel. Because they've been cooking about 15 hours, this is a really good bark and crust. It's gonna taste wonderful, but my problem right now is it's still a little bit crunchy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our plastic film here and we're gonna wrap each one individually. We want to let that internal temperature help steam them, and they're gonna go into a commercial warmer. So we're gonna now go into about 160-degree warmer, and they're gonna sit for about 2 hours. One of the keys to any barbecue is understanding how to hold it, how long to hold it, and in what state to hold it in. We also, with the brisket point, we wanna hold them as long as we can in this state right here. So once I cut them, I wanna know for sure that I've got customers in line and I'm gonna sell them in the next 10 minutes. I like to cut them right down the middle first so I get an idea what my fat cap looks like. I don't have too much excess fat. This product looks really good. My grain's running this way. So what I'm gonna do is burn ends need to be about 3/4 inch to 1 inch long. And so we're just gonna cut them like this. I like to lay them down, hit them here, throw them in the pan. I'm gonna put about 2 squirts of, we call it our brisket au jus. What we do is we take some of the cooked brisket trimmings and we boil them down to make our own stock. We add a little bit of vegetable oil and we add some barbecue seasoning. I put just maybe a couple of ounces in each pan, and then I'm gonna take this up to the line and they're gonna make burn-end plates, dinners, sandwiches, and Z-Mans out of it. Now, this is the best part, everybody. We've got pretty much a burn-end deluxe lunch going on here. We've got our burn-end lunch plate here. We've got a burn-end dinner, a burn-end sandwich, and a burn-end and rib dinner. So only in Kansas City are you gonna find burn-end ice cream. Barbecue caramel sauce, burn ends, Q on.